UNSUPER-SIZE ME, a simple phrase that anyone can say at a window of a fast food restaurant. Also, a simple way of putting an end to childhood and adult obesity. No parent wants to hear, "Welcome back to school, your child's fat." Without saying this, educating children at a young age about a healthy lifestyle, including healthy diet and exercise, is one way to change the world we live in within a generation. Solving the problem of obesity in children and adults requires help from parents, schools, and our federal government. Americans will not only see a decrease in obesity rates, but also a decrease in health problems related to obesity. The rise of overweight and obese children is a serious concern affecting families, schools, and our nation. According to American Heart Association, obesity is the #1 concern among parents in the U.S. F is in Fat by the Robert Wood Foundation states that the government and our nation seem to forget the lifelong psychological and physical effects that being overweight can have on an individual. These effects include cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, early aging, and body image problems such as depression, stress, and loneliness. The more and more children that become overweight will only lead to more and more overweight adults. The annual report in 2012 said that the 28.1% obesity rate in Arkansas will increase to a whopping 60.6% by 2030 if obesity rates continue to rise. This means that 4 people in a room of 10 in 2030 will be healthy. The 2 major factors of the increase of obese children and adults are diet and exercise. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services hypothesized that eating fruits and vegetables builds a foundation and positively influences a child's diet and food preferences. Lack of fruits and vegetables and healthy gargantuan fast food portions are factors that have created this supersized human. A few years ago, my brother did a science fair project where he asked people to pour what they thought was 1 serving size of cereal into 1 bowl. He would then measure the amount of cereal that they thought was 1 serving size. The conclusion was that people overestimate the amount of 1 serving, most people pouring the amount of 2 servings for what they thought was the size of 1. These results also showed that people are unaware of the amount of food that they are consuming. The second major factor is exercise, or lack thereof. First Lady Michelle Obama's Let's Move program is an initiative dedicated to solving the challenge of childhood obesity within a generation of children, putting children on the right path to a healthy future during the earliest months and years of their life. Mrs. Obama has been successful in her program and her stand to stop obesity. This February, she announced that Mississippi, one of the top obesity states, has made a 13% drop in its childhood obesity. Solving the problem required help from parents, schools, and the federal government. Starting when the children begin school, either preschool or kindergarten, there needs to be supervision of children eating healthy portions of healthy foods. The average kids' meal at a fast food restaurant ranges from 200 plus calories to 700 plus calories, with the recommended caloric intake of about 1,500 calories. That's more than half for just 1 meal. With the option of supersizing for a better deal, getting more food for less money, most people just turn to the supersized portion, which then leads to supersized people. Let's Move shares that portion sizes have exploded. They are now 2 to 5 times bigger than they have been in years past. In total, we are now eating 31% more calories than we were 40 years ago. The average American now eats 15 more pounds of sugar a year than in 1970. If fast food restaurants even began either not to offer their supersized option or offer the healthier foods for the same price as the greasy, unhealthy foods, maybe we would see a change in our obesity rates. Along with monitoring a child's diet, parents, schools, and the federal government must see that children are getting enough exercise to be healthy. The Physical Activity Guidelines recommends that children and youth under 19 years old get at least 60 minutes of exercise a day. For adults, government guidelines recommend moderate intensity activity for 150 minutes a week. Very sadly, the introduction of electronic devices has taken a major toll on our lifestyle. The average 8 to 18-year-old spends about 7.5 hours a day using some form of electronic device, whether that be cell phone, TV, computer, video game, or movie. Only 1/3 of high school students get the recommended levels of physical activity. As Michelle Obama's campaign to lead to a healthy lifestyle states, let's move. Today we've learned that obesity is a serious problem among families of children and adults. With more Americans being educated about a healthy lifestyle at a young age, we will surely see a decrease in overweight and obesity rates. Starting with a healthy diet and healthy physical activity, and excluding the super-sized, greasy double cheeseburger and bacon fries and endless hours in front of an electronic screen, we'll see a change in our nation, and for the better. For the major two factors that affect obesity, UNSUPER-SIZE ME and Let's Move are two initiatives that will without a doubt unsupersize the rate of adult and childhood obesity.